has been made at the quarterback position, so it looks like they're going to continually play 41-year-old Joe Flacco, although he threw.
Haslam's going to come down on Sunday, October 5th, and he says, I want Shedeur to play against Minnesota.
I'll keep saying it. I believe Shedeur Sanders should play more games than any other quarterback on this roster this year, because he's the only guy that I look at and say they might have something here.
Breaking news out of Cleveland, and this one is shaking up the entire NFL world. Shedeur Sanders, the young phenom who's taken the league by storm, has officially been sidelined by the Browns. In a stunning twist, Shedeur has been placed as the third-string quarterback on the second-week unofficial roster. But hold on, because here's where it gets really explosive. Browns owner Jimmy Haslam is not letting this move slide. Reports are surfacing that Haslam wants Shedeur on the field, and he knows keeping him benched could have massive consequences for the team, both on and off the field. The fans? They're furious. The analysts? They're demanding answers. And everyone seems to agree. When Shedeur Sanders is in the game, ratings soar, and the Browns' brand becomes a powerhouse. So the big question is, why on earth is Kevin Stefanski and the rest of the coaching staff keeping him away from the action? This decision is quickly turning into one of the biggest controversies of the season. And today, we're breaking it all down right here.
You know, Shedeur, we talk oftentimes about quarterback being the most important position in the sport. We obviously spent a lot of time with Shedeur throughout the process. He's highly accurate, can play well from the pocket, very productive college career. And
when Andrew Berry selected Shedeur Sanders in the draft, he made it clear. This wasn't about Shedeur warming the bench. The goal was to inject the team with new talent, energy, and a fresh face to lead the franchise. However, after week 1, things aren't going according to Berry's vision. Head coach Kevin Stefanski is continuing to hold Shedeur back, sticking with Joe Flacco as the starter. The issue? Flacco already showed signs of wear in the season opener, openly admitting his performance wasn't up to par. Still, Stefanski hesitates to give Shedeur the starting role, leaving both fans and analysts baffled by the decision.
It's hard. Listen, when you lose football games, that's what happens. You're going to have plays where you look back on and think about. And, those guys, they played a really strong game for us today. Like I said, I think when you look at this film, you're going to see a lot of guys that did a lot of really good things. We just had some names that really, really did us.
But here's where things take a dramatic turn. Jimmy Haslam is now getting directly involved, pushing hard for Shedeur Sanders to get his shot on the field. Sources indicate Haslam is determined to make this happen, and Colin Cowherd even revealed that Shedeur could be taking the field as early as November. Cowherd believes it's only a matter of time before the Browns hit a tipping point. If the losses start stacking up, the pressure on Stefanski and the coaching staff will become unbearable, forcing them to make a change. That's when Shedeur is expected to step in, bringing the spark and energy the team desperately needs. And if he performs, even in small bursts, fans will erupt, demanding him as the full-time starter, with his name dominating the headlines week after week.
I tend to think by Thanksgiving, he'll just potentially be the best quarterback they have, and the fans will be clamoring for him because it's not a very good team and they'll be losing games.
Colin Cowherd didn't stop there. He also mentioned that Browns ownership is fully backing Shedeur, eager to see him on the field because they see him as the future of the franchise. But here's the catch. Management isn't quite ready to hand him the reins just yet. Instead, reports suggest the front office and coaching staff are looking for ways to delay his debut, trying to buy more time before putting him in the spotlight. Their strategy seems to be about gradually easing Shedeur into the role, rather than throwing him into the deep end right from the start.
Shedeur's not ready. Shedeur's not ready. My guess is they go 0-4. Maybe they go 1-3. Haslam's going to come down on Sunday, October 5th. And he says, I want Shedeur to play against Minnesota.
So, you might be asking, why is Jimmy Haslam so insistent on getting Shedeur Sanders on the field? The answer is simple. Shedeur's influence and rapidly growing fan base. He's already become a magnetic figure with his personality and presence, capturing attention wherever he goes. Fans are hooked, and let's face it, the Browns haven't been making waves for much else. Even after last season, when the team was virtually forgotten, the buzz around Cleveland is all thanks to Shedeur. He's brought energy, visibility, and most importantly, ratings. And in the NFL, ratings translate into revenue, something Browns ownership knows they can't afford to overlook.
That is bringing the Browns right into the center of the NFL universe. Right now, it's Shedeur Sanders, right? I mean, there is just so much content, so much debate.
Jimmy Haslam understands that losing Shedeur would be a huge mistake, as he's the key player who could bring the Browns back into the NFL spotlight. That's why Haslam and the front office are holding their ground. They're not about to let him slip through their fingers. Rumors are already circulating that other teams are eyeing Shedeur, but Haslam is resolute in his stance, refusing to entertain any trade talks. However, the pressure surrounding the situation continues to grow, and the longer Shedeur remains sidelined, the louder those rumors and calls for action will become.
Yeah. Good to see you. Oh, we got. Well, we got to do some trading. Dion, she's mine. Hey,
But now, the pressure inside Cleveland is becoming impossible to ignore. More voices are calling for answers, and the message is clear. If Shedeur Sanders isn't going to play, maybe the Browns should consider parting ways with him. The truth is becoming undeniable. Shedeur's market value is higher than ever. Reports indicate multiple teams are already eyeing him, while journalists are questioning the logic of keeping such a talent on the sidelines. Fans are growing increasingly restless, too. Many believe that releasing Shedeur might actually be the best decision for everyone, allowing him to thrive in an environment that fully supports his potential. With each passing week, the pressure mounts, and the Browns are running out of time. Will they stick with their current plan, or risk losing Shedeur to a team ready to let him shine? The clock is ticking, and this choice could shape the Browns' future for years to come.
You trade Shedeur Sanders. You clearly are not sold on him right now. You're not sold on the progress that he's making, even though you're saying, hey, we're happy with where he's at.
I'm going to be livid if it goes down, by the way.
As the controversy surrounding Shedeur Sanders' sidelining continues to grow, fans and analysts alike are making their voices heard. The message is clear. Shedeur deserves to start. Fans are beyond frustrated, demanding that the Browns recognize the opportunity in front of them. Shedeur is not just a quarterback, he's a phenomenon. His presence on the field would bring a level of excitement and energy the team desperately needs, reinvigorating the fan base and capturing national attention. Analysts are equally vocal, arguing that keeping Shedeur on the bench is a mistake that could cost the Browns more than just games. The buzz around him is undeniable, and his marketability is off the charts. The longer he remains sidelined, the greater the risk of wasting a once-in-a-generation talent. In today's NFL, the difference between success and mediocrity often comes down to bold decisions, and Shedeur's potential is undeniable. Fans and experts are united in their call for him to take the field, with many believing that the Browns will only reach their full potential when Shedeur is behind center. As the pressure mounts, it seems inevitable that the time for change is fast approaching. The question now is whether the Browns will act before it's too late. So what do you think? Should the Browns stick with their current plan, or is it time to hand the reins to Shedeur Sanders? Do you believe the team is making a mistake by keeping him on the bench, or do you think they're doing the right thing by easing him into the role? How much longer can they afford to keep him sidelined with all the buzz and pressure building around him? And if Shedeur does get his shot, will he live up to the hype, or is there more at play than just raw talent? Let us know your thoughts. How do you see this unfolding, and what should the Browns do next?